Got done with a beautiful video where I channeled Trey Son, who is a Lyran being that is a part of the Lyran Earth Council. And these beings keep and tend to the information that is being sent and also returned by Earth itself. My friend and I have been working with these oceanic healing pods, and I want this video to be kind of an in-depth explanation of what we know so far, what has come through to us, and Trey Son in this last video brought through a lot of new information, which is very exciting, and is connected to a part of my life energy. So these healing pods kind of came about. I had a friend who has been working with this energy, been experiencing this energy, very connected to the oceanic beings, this ocean new earth healing technology. And she wanted a little more information, and she had gone to a lot of different people trying to kind of unlock further this information. And we ended up meeting about it, and she took me down there, and I was able to see. I'm a remote viewer, so I'm able to see in my mind's eye different spaces of the universe, whether that is into another room in my house, another place on Earth, or into a dimensional layer that is kind of hovering right above where we are on Earth, just a different dimensional plane of Earth itself. So, and that's where these healing pods exist. So what I saw when we went down there is there's this giant expanse of these pods. And these healing pods were founded in the Atlantean time to help connect people to their highest selves. In the Trey Son video that I just channeled, he said that they were used for breeding, they were used for expanded consciousness, they were used by all different hybrids of galactic beings. They really came about to be a healing technology for the human body because outside on land technologies weren't sufficing. And it's because in order to heal the human body, you need access to all of the elements that make up the human body. And that can, that can be found down in this area of the ocean and on these specific ley lines. So he said that there are these specific ley lines where these pods are located, and the pods all connect into this one giant stone. We've seen a stone and we've activated and worked on the stone, and then in this channeled message he showed me that the stone is actually a tip of a oceanic mountain, and this mountain is what plummets down into this ley line, this specific portal. And this portal is very just potent for all sorts of healing and also energy transfers. It's really potent for release and shedding, DNA work. I saw genome work. It's really good for DNA stuff. All sorts of healings are really potent on this specific ley line, and each pod has the ability to help you heal whatever your intention may be. And then you are drawn to the pod that matches your energetic blueprint. So there are different subspecies of aliens, different hybrids of humans, right? We are alien, okay? There's different hybrids of us, and these pods basically are attuned to these different hybrid makeups that we all have. And so you will then be intuitively drawn, and whatever you need to experience, whatever your intention is, that pod will help you to experience it. And sometimes the pods are intuitive themselves, and you don't even need to know what's going to occur. And your guides, your higher mind, your energetic blueprint tunes in and taps into the pod, and the pod gives you exactly what you need. And this is part of that portal that also exists on these specific ley lines. And so my friend and I went down there, and I was seeing all of these pods, and some of it's dormant right now. It was dormant. It's no longer dormant. We actually were able to activate this dormant quadrant. So it's like this big circle, stone right here. And then there's these different branches of like quadrants. There's tons of pods. I mean, there has to be thousands of them. And this one giant quadrant had been dormant for a long time. So we helped to activate it. We got it back. It was under dark energies, and my friend has received that this whole technology basically was under dark shadow rule for a while, and it was being used as a negative device, but that is no longer. It is coming back to the light, and that's a big thing that Treson also told me, is that a lot of these technologies are starting to come back into the light because the earth is fully shedding different timelines, fully shedding different realities, these different layers that are all on the earth at the same time being experienced simultaneously, but we can only see certain layers. It's like your TV. Nickelodeon is always going while you're on HGTV. It's all happening at the same time, and we are able to tap into and view which ones we have conscious access to. And this layer is basically located, I would say like a few away from the layer that you and I are experiencing. And we will eventually get to the point of merging with that, but it's through collective remembrance that these layers shed and then start merging. And so as the merging starts, the density can no longer be held in these higher vibrational layers of the earth, and the earth is actually reclaiming herself by releasing this density, reclaiming parts of herself. We actually also received a message that was very beautiful about glaciers and how ice melting, the water that has been held in ice is actually stored knowledge that the earth needs and has had trouble accessing because it has been frozen in ice, and that the ice melting is her reclaiming certain parts of herself and the knowledge, the remembrance, to expand into a more high vibrational planet. So we took a group down to these pods, and a lot of things can happen. We did some work on the pods, and then we healed through the pods. And the healing, guys, that happens in these pods, it's crazy sauce. They were literally like if my body had panels on it, like lifting panels off of my being and then going in and pulling out these like strings of like dark worms, basically. And then those worms were falling to the ground, and someone in the group saw like little crustaceans like eating these worms. It's a full symbiotic technology that's occurring, and it's also, I've seen, connected to a coral reef and the different energies that live in the coral reef help support the technology, and it's like a symbiotic relationship. And some of those beings being the guides that have been helping us down there. So we have a few of them. We have Alexander, we have Malaya, I believe is her name, And then we have Sasha, I think. I'm sure on Alexander, and then there's two other guides that my friend has worked with. I've worked with, I believe, Sasha is one of them. Sasha is an aquatic being. She is like light pink skinned. I really only see her face. Her body seems slender. I'm not sure what her lower half is looking like, but her face, she has these huge like gills right here and like a big fan kind of head that goes like this, and big gills and like really beautiful like eyes and like a delicate kind of like structure right here. I wouldn't say it's a mouth and like a nose, but something going on right here. And she has been really helping us to understand the technology. And Sasha, what is your role again down there? Just like an overseer of the more science aspect of the pods and technologies. And then Alexander is more so kind of like a manager. He oversees the management of them, oversees like people that are working with them. He has helped us with our group adventures and also our one-on-one experiences with him. And he is kind of the one that tells us what we're going to be doing down there. He's very potent and around when we are working together or working with the pods. And so it's just all very fascinating. There is this very beautiful unity piece. So because the pods are able to tap us into the elements that make up our hybrid human technology, it brings this unity aspect. So it brings land and oceanic healing together. And there's this aspect of the earth where she has felt separated. People see land and ocean as two different things rather than being one harmonious, unified energy. And when we get to that place of seeing land and ocean as one thing, one beautiful living organism, that is when she will be back in like full unity. And we can do this by connecting with the water, by acknowledging the water, by acknowledging the land and the water together, symbiotically, again, living with one another. And we really see how far removed she has gotten from this through the pollution, through the oceans changing, through really just our disconnect from the water around us and the lack of water around us. I feel like she's shown me how water used to be way more integrated with the earth, and how deserts weren't really like it used to be way more integrated and together, and now we have large areas of the earth that don't really experience water. And yes, the earth has evolved in that way, but it's coming back to this balance where water should be experienced kind of everywhere, because it's such a big part of her, such a big part of this unity frequency that the planet trajectory is headed. And so these pods help bring us into unity, and also anyone that feels called to work with them is coming into unity. And we are also working as a group. It's not just us taking you down there to facilitate something. Like, everyone that joins, it really does tap us into earth unity frequency, because everyone's energy is working together. It's symbiotically bouncing off one another. You have certain things over here that are adding and working with the pods in this way, and we're doing it in this way, but that's also working together and interweaving beautifully. So it is really a new technology that is helping us to tap into unity frequency on the planet. I'm really excited to continue sharing more, very excited to continue working with Kayla. If you want to know more about this information, you can follow Kayla's Patreon, Kayla Shanks, and you can follow my Patreon, Earth to Marissa, or you can follow our YouTube channels underneath the same names. If you want to be involved in group experiences, Kayla and I will both be doing group experiences, taking people down there, working with this information, and also channeling more galactic energies to better understand all of the technologies that are coming online in New Earth. So if you're interested, let's follow along, because healing has now reached a whole new level. And I'm excited to see where it continues going as we continue remembering our truest nature, the unity consciousness, and the other energies that are present in the universe. Much love to you, and stay tuned for more updates.